Guys, how are you? Today I wanted to share with you the lesson that I actually shared in Spanish. I think I shared it on Tuesday, but it was so beautiful. It's such a deep and beautiful lesson. This is lesson 188, and it is called "The Peace of God is Shining in Me Now." Now remember that other videos I share with you what was actually that when the Course in Miracles says that you are mind and we are part of a bigger mind, right? So sometimes it's like, what does that mean exactly? I did explain a little bit of that, but it also said in the other lesson, it did explain, it doesn't matter how many thoughts you have, how many lovable thoughts you could have, they will never be able to be compared with the thoughts of the vision, which is like your real state of being, right? So for that reason, I wanted to share this lesson with you because I think you're gonna love it. Just listen to it. It's like such profound and such a nice lesson. So it's called "The Peace of God is Shining in Me Now." It says, "Why wait for heaven? Those who seek the light are merely covering their eyes," meaning you are seeing the light, you're covering your eyes because you have the light in you, the same light that everyone else has. The light is in them now. You see? That light, it's in you now. It says enlightenment, and listen to this part because it's really important. It says enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change at all. So a lot of times we're thinking, oh, okay, well, for me to be in light, I have to practice all these things in yoga, in Taoism, or any of those type of things. And it says, no, enlightenment is but a recognition. You already have the light in you. Every other living creature already has that light in them. It's a matter of recognition. It says, enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change at all. Light is not of the world, yet you who bear the light in you are alien here as well, meaning if we're going to be living in a world of illusions, which basically this is a world of illusions that we're living in at this point, then we're not going to be able to see deeper, like the real essence of someone or your real essence, which is the light that you're carrying in yourself. So we are an alien means, I know alien could be sounding not just such a nice word, but it's more like you're strange in this world, okay? It says the light came with you from your native home. That's what the Course in Miracles says. That light that for me is God, but you can call the universe, you can call your higher power, it doesn't matter. They don't care about names. The universe doesn't care about names. So that light of peace, that light of joy, that light of happiness, it's something that you already have in you. It says came with you from your native home. Before you got here, you had it in you. Okay? And the Course in Miracles explains very clear that God for me, and the Course talks about okay, so the Course in Miracles, the people who knows about it, talks about our Father, okay? And it says our Father put already in yourself and in me those thoughts from Him, which are thoughts of light, of love, of peace, of joy. Everything else that is not giving you peace, basically it's coming from the ego, okay? From the world, from this world of illusions, this world of fear, this world of trying to justify things without giving ourselves the chance to go deeper and see the essence of the person or the animal or every living creature. And it says, the light came with you from your native home and stayed with you because it is your own. It is your own light. It is your own home. It is the only thing you bring with you from Him, who is your source. Again, the Course in Miracles talks about Him, our Father, but you can call it the universe, whichever way you want. It says it shines in you because it lights your home and leads you back to where it came from, and you are at home. It says the light cannot be lost. But I mean, like I said, I found it like so profound and so neat. It says the light, that light that you have or whoever else, cannot be lost. Why wait to find it in the future, or believe it has been lost already or was never there? It can so easily be looked upon that arguments which prove it is not there become ridiculous. Who can deny the presence of what he beholds in him? It is not difficult to look within, for there all visions starts. There is no sight, be it for dreams or from a truer source, that is not but the shadow of the seen through inward vision. Again, this English, for the ones that know me, I'm not a native English speaker, so I'm trying my best, but the thing here is like the words that are spoken in English are very sophisticated. So if you're a native speaker, that's great. If not, let me just bear with me so we can both try to kind of translate it in an easier English. It says, there is no sight, be it of dreams or from a truer source, that is not but the shadow of the seen through inward vision. Their perception starts and there it ends. It has no source but this. The peace of God is shining in you now. I found it like that again, like I said, I just find it like so beautiful, because it's basically reminding us we don't have to look for it. It's a matter of recognition. It says the peace of God is shining in you now, and from your heart extends around the world. It passes to cares each living thing and leaves a blessing with it that remains forever and forever. What it gives must be eternal. What it gives must be eternal. It removes all thoughts of the ephemeral and value of less. It brings renewal to all tired hearts and lights all vision as it passes by. I think it's so beautiful. The peace of God does all that. That peace of God that you have in you, and whenever you share it, it says it brings renewal to all tired hearts and lights all vision as it passes by. All of its gifts are given everyone. All of its gifts are given everyone. Okay, all of its gifts are given to everyone, and everyone unites in giving thanks to you who give. Okay, again, all of its gifts are given everyone, and everyone unites in giving thanks to you who give and you who have received. So again, let's remember that the Course in Miracles says very clear that everything that you give, you're giving it to yourself. So it does explain that we're not separated. And whenever we think that we are separated, we're basically just making a mistake. We're not remembering the thoughts of our source. We are all connected. It's like if you have this hand and you actually think, well, you know, the thumb, it's called thumb. Yeah, okay, but it's separated from your hand. No, it's not. And the hand needs the thumb, and it needs all the other fingers to work properly. They're connected with connective tissues and all that stuff. And actually, the Course in Miracles says exactly, we are connected exactly the same way. You might not see it, we might not know it, but it says your love, your light, it's totally connected with everyone. So whatever you give, you're giving it to yourself. It says, the shining in your mind reminds the world of what it has forgotten. The shining in your mind, you see, reminds the world of what it has forgotten. And the world restores the memory to you as well. From your salvation radiates with gifts beyond all measure, given and returned. To you, the giver of the gift, does God himself give thanks. I just find this like so beautiful, because a lot of us, we think, well, am I really that valuable that actually, God will really appreciate, or would he even notice? You know what I'm saying? That I'm, that I'm loving someone, that I don't know, that do I exist? Like, I don't know if it hasn't happened to you, but it has happened to me. Like, sometimes it's like, does God really notice that I'm, that I'm here? So it says, the shining in your mind reminds the world of what it has forgotten, and the world restores the memory to you as well. From your salvation radiates with gifts beyond all measure, given and returned. To you, the giver of the gift, does God himself give thanks, and in his blessings does the light in you shines brighter, adding to the gifts you have to offer to the world. I find it like super, super nice, And I just want to remind you that this course book, was basically given as a dictation to Helen Schumann. And when she asked, she didn't believe in anything, for the ones that do follow the Course in Miracles. She didn't believe in absolutely in anything before. However, when she started getting this voice saying, take notes, she asked, well, who is this voice? And when this voice said, well, there's many ways to get to God, but in this case, you're asking me, who am I? I'm Jesus. So all these things are coming from what Jesus dictated to her. The peace of God can never be contained. Who recognizes it within himself must give it, and the means for giving it are in his understanding. He forgives because he recognizes the truth in him. The peace of God is shining in you now and in all living things. And that's the part that for me, I have to repeat it. I'm so sorry. The peace of God is shining in you now and in all living things. All, does that make sense? Animals, trees, everything that has life. It says the peace of God is shining in you now and in all living things. It's telling you. And that's it. We're connected. It's not, oh, who cares about the plant? Oh, who cares about the tree? Oh, who cares about the animal? The stray dog? No. It's telling you. In quietness, is it acknowledged universally? In quietness. So what does that mean? Whenever we allow ourselves to really observe everything that we have around, the beauty of nature, the beauty of an animal, the beauty of a tree, the beauty of a lake, everything has life, right? But if our mind continue to jump all over the place, we won't be able to actually recognize that light in all living things. And it says, only in quietness it is acknowledged universally. For what your inward vision looks upon is your perception of the universe. And then it says, sit quietly and close your eyes. Oh, I love that part. Sit quietly and close your eyes. The light within you is sufficient. Oops. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I have to change this. Sorry. It says, the light within you is sufficient. It alone has power to give the gift of sight to you. Exclude the outer world and let your thoughts fly to the peace within. They know the way. I mean, I'm sorry, but for me, this is so profound. And I think for you too, if for any reason we're following each other on Instagram. It says, exclude the outer world and let your thoughts fly to the peace within. They know the way. For honest thoughts, untainted by the dream of worldly things outside yourself, become the holy messenger of God Himself. Let me read that again, because again, like I explained, I'm not a native speaker, and sometimes I'm like, what? So sit quietly and close your eyes. I got it. The light within you is sufficient. I got it. And I think it's so nice. And I'm grateful for Him to telling me that and for sharing it with you. It alone, the light within you alone has power to give the gift of sight to you. Exclude the outer world and let your thoughts fly to the peace within. Got it. Those thoughts, they say they know the way. For honest thoughts, those thoughts of God, which are the honest thought, the thoughts are going to give me peace, they're going to give you peace, know the way. For honest thoughts, untainted by the dream of worldly things outside yourself, become the holy messengers of God Himself. Okay? So those thoughts, at the moment that I forget about the outside and I focus on in the inward, they become the holy messengers of God Himself. These thoughts, look, listen to this, and this is what I remember. I told you about the bigger mind in the other video that I share with you. These thoughts, you think with Him. These thoughts, when you go inward, when you're listening, when you sit quietly, these thoughts you think with Him, with that bigger mind, with God, with the universe, with your higher power, with who you really are. They recognize their home and they point surely to their source, where God, the Father and the Son are one, where your thoughts and the thoughts of our Father, for me, I believe in God, so for me it's God, but you can call it the universe, you can call it whichever way you want, where your thoughts and the thoughts of God or the universe become one. That's when the Course in Miracles says, you are not a body. You are part of a bigger mind. I know. It's like, oh, what? Exactly. So it says, what? God speaks, these thoughts you think with Him. They recognize their home and they point surely to their source, where God the Father and the Son are one. God's peace is shining on them, but they must remain with you as well. For they were born within your mind, as yours was born in God's. You see, I'm not saying that. This is what Jesus said. I'm just sharing it with you. They lead you back to peace from where they came, but to remind you how you must return. They heed your Father's voice. Heed, H-E-E-E-D. I'm sorry, I don't know what heed means. I read this lesson in Spanish. But when you refuse to listen, and they urge you gently to accept His word for what you are, instead of fantasies and shadows. Okay? So it says, it's like it tells us to gently accept His word rather than all the fantasies that we're putting in our mind and thoughts of fear, of anxiety, of what if this, or it's interesting because there's one part in the Course in Miracles that says something like this. It says, you might think that the Course, it's an illusion, when the reality is that the illusion is the world that you've been doing, like you've been seeing, projecting. It says very clear. That's why the Course says, everyone had in one moment or another, a sparkle of that vision. And that's remembering the thoughts of God in us, like the bigger mind. He said everyone had a sparkle of that vision. And it says, and even though you probably don't remember or you don't take that sparkle seriously, it says that sparkle that you had, that's the truth. That is the truth. But the entire thing that you're doing or that you're seeing as a world, it's not exactly the truth. That is the world of illusion, and that's what it says here. It says, and they urge you gently to accept His word for what you are, instead of fantasies and shadows that we think it's true. There's not. They remind you that you are the co-creator. Listen. They remind you, those thoughts, that you are the co-creator of all things that live. For as the peace of God is shining in you, it must shine on them. Isn't that beautiful? Like, honestly, for me, it's absolutely beautiful. It says, we practice coming nearer to the light in us today. We take our wandering thoughts and gently bring them back to where they fall in line with all the thoughts we share with God. We will not let them stray. We let the light within our minds direct them to come home. We let the light within our minds, direct them to come home. We have betrayed them. Yeah, I know, we have betrayed, those lights of thought, those thoughts of light, ordering that they depart from us. So, what does that mean? Every time that we think negative, every time that we doubt, every time that we are, example, saying, oh, why is this happening this way? Oh, well, this is my luck. You're betraying the thoughts of God in you, right? Of that bigger mind, again, that it's within you. It just told you. We have betrayed them, ordering that they depart from us. But now we call them back and wash them clean of strange desires and disordered wishes. We restore to them the holiness of their inheritance. Thus are our minds restored with them, and we acknowledge that the peace of God still shines in us, and from us to all living things that share our life. Again, I want to repeat this one. The ones who know me, you guys know that I love animals. I'm an animal lover, and since I started studying this course, really I have to share with you. It's been a total eye-opening for me in terms of being able to see that I'm not alone. And you're not alone either. No one is alone. If you just look around, you're able to see that you're completely filled with living creatures. And I'm talking about a plant, about an animal, about the tree. If we're not able to see it, it's because we're not allowing ourselves to observe that peace within us, that light within us, and that light within themselves, which Jesus just explained here. So it says, thus are our minds restored with them, and we acknowledge that the peace of God still shines in us, and from us to all living things that share our life. Everything that shares your life at this moment, or whichever moment, it's having that sparkle of peace that you have. We will forgive, it says, and from us to all living things that share our life. We will forgive them all. Now, We will forgive them all, absolving all the world from what we thought it did to us. Now, some of you might say, what do you mean we will forgive them? So let's remember that the Course in Miracles doesn't take forgiveness like the world or like we think it's forgiveness. So we think forgiving someone is like, oh, I'm going to forgive you because I'm a better person. I'm a better person, but I'm not going to forget what you did to me. No. The Course in Miracles explains the way to forgive. It's to remember that it's your perception, the one that's wrong. So you have to forgive that you made a mistake perceiving others, other persons, other animals, other circumstances, wrongly. That's why it's since the beginning, it says this is a course to train your mind, to start changing your perception and see the light, see the reality in others, not just what your thoughts, your ego thoughts are seeing. Then it says, we will forgive them all. We will forgive our thoughts, our mistakes, our thoughts, the way we're perceiving things. That's what we have to forgive. Absolving all the world from what we thought it did to us. Okay? Because the world didn't do anything to us. It's the way we're perceiving things. For it is we who make the world as we would have it. Now, we choose that it be innocent, devoid of sin and open to salvation. Okay? Now, we choose that it be innocent and devoid of sin and open to salvation. And we lay our saving blessings on it, as we say. And this is exactly what he says we should say. The peace of God is shining in me now. Let all things shine upon me in that peace, and let me bless them with the light in me. Again, the peace of God is shining in me now. Let all things shine upon me in that peace, and let me bless them with the light in me. And this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I did it in Spanish during the week, but I wanted to do it in English as well. You're going to have to forgive me, please, if my English is not exactly the best, but I try my best. And I'm sure you can understand what I try to explain, right? So anyway, I hope you were able to feel the way I just felt this message. I hope you were able to realize how much light you have in you, as Jesus just told you, clear as water. And I hope you're able to start seeing everywhere you go that every living creature has that light that we all share with God, the universe, or a higher power. Thank you so much for the ones that are watching. And let me see, someone wrote something. Let me see. It says, you have a very soothing voice. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. This is the type of energy I need after a stressful week. Thank you so much. Where is your accent from? From Mexico. I'm Latin American. Too bad I have an accent. I didn't want to have an accent, but it's okay. Well, okay. Some people think they're it's sexy. I want to lose my accent, but whatever. It says, hope your evening is full of peace. Thank you so much. Hope your evening is also full of peace, and hope that this lesson touches your heart, stays in your mind tonight and tomorrow and forever. Thank you guys for watching. Love you all. Namaste. Bye.